This morning, the invocation will be offered by Priest Varaprakash Kasuri, Mahaganapati Temple from Maricopa. Did I do that pretty well? I hope. Okay. I'm sorry. So it will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Supervisor Goodman. And I'll ask you, I'm just telling you. And so those that wish to participate, please stand.
Hari Om. Thank you so much for each and every member on this meeting. On behalf of Mahaganapati Temple, I am representing our Almighty given lot of blessings to us. This Vedic hummings from Yajurveda. The meaning of the Vedic hummings is peace for the nation, peace for the world, peace for the everyone. And it is going to give health, wealth, and success. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Prithvi Shanta Sagnina Shanta. Same Shanta Suchagum Samayatu. Antarikshagum Shantam Tadvayuna Shantam. Tanme Shantagum Suchagum Samayatu. Diyos Shanta Sadityena Shanta Same Shanta Sujagum Samayatu. Prithvi Shantir Antarikshagum Shantir. Diyos Shantir Disha Shantir Avantara. Disha Shanti Agnis Shantir Vayus Shantir Aditya Shanti. Chandrama Shantir Nakshatrani Shanti. Apasyanti Oshadayasyantir Vanaspatayasyantir Gausyanti Rajasyantir Asvasyanti Purushasyantir Brahmasyantir Brahmanasyanti Syantireva Syanti Syantir Me Astu Syantihi Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. May Lord bless Arizona. May Lord bless United States of America. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, and welcome to the Pinal County Board of Supervisors, March 4, 2026 regular meeting. We are in order, more or less. I'm just to let you know that Supervisor Miller will be attending telephonically at some point here. He's off at a water meeting in Phoenix, I believe, and he'll join us as soon as he can. First order of business is executive sessions. I'd ask for a motion to convene into executive session, please, for items 1 through 4.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. We're in executive session. Back in a bit, folks. The regular meeting.
So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Aye. Thank you, Supervisor Miller. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. We're back in regular session. This is item number 5. This is discussion, approval, disapproval for compensation payments and execution of Pinal County Attorney's Pinal County Attorney's Office employment acknowledgments regarding the same. This has been continued from February 18th. Okay. Do I have a motion here? Are there any questions? Any questions from the board? No? In that case, then may I get a motion, please, for item number 5?
Mr. Chair, make a motion to approve.
I have a motion.
Is written.
Sorry?
Item 5 is written.
You're approving item. Do I have a motion? Is there a second?
I'll second that.
A motion to second. Those in favor of approving item 5 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. Item number 6 is a discussion, approval, disapproval to waive attorney, I'm sorry, to waive attorney-client privilege of the legal advice from the counsel at Snell and Wilmer, who are engaged as conflict counsel to advise the Board of Supervisors concerning the application of the Fair Labor Standards Act and Arizona employment statutes to employment positions within the Pinal County Attorney's Office, and provide legal strategy to limit and mitigate liability exposure as a result of the Pinal County Attorney's unauthorized employment decisions.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 6 as presented.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. I'm going to ask, who's going to speak? Ms. Dennis, would you please come up and tell us all about this? Tell the public all about this.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the board.
Please, I just said your name, but can you please just indicate?
My name is Kim Dennis, and I'm an attorney with Snell and Wilmer. We were retained to determine whether or not back pay was owed to certain individuals who were hired without authority, but nonetheless performed services for the county attorney. We determined that back pay was in fact owed because Arizona law entitles any person who performs work for an employer to be paid wages, including applicable benefits such as earned paid sick time and paid time off if provided to employees, regardless of hiring defects or someone's failure to follow the county's hiring procedures, in this case, Attorney Miller. The governing statutes define employee broadly and impose mandatory wage payment duties on employers, including the county. In some cases, treble damages, penalties, and attorney's fees could be assessed against an employer for failing to pay earned wages and or earned paid sick time. Arizona statutes define an employee as any person who performs services for an employer under a contract of employment, either made in this state or to be performed wholly or partly within this state. A contract of employment may be implied, oral, or written, and performing work at the direction of an apparent employer is sufficient to form an employment relationship. Likewise, Arizona defines employee as to suffer or permit to work. Thus, if an apparent employer permits an individual to perform services on behalf of the apparent employer, those individuals are employed as a matter of law. Thus, in this case, we determined that 2 individuals who had performed services at the direction of Attorney Miller were entitled to be paid, statutorily obligated by the county to pay them. So that's where we have back pay has been offered and awarded to those 3 employees now. So, any questions?
3, we've come to 3 from 2.
Yes.
It continues to occur.
Yes.
Does the board have any questions for Ms. Dennis?
Yes, I'd just like to ask a simple question, so maybe people who are watching, or maybe all the legal terms, whether you're in the public sector or whether you're in, government, is it normal practice to actually hire somebody and then ask for back pay later, such as myself with one of my employees who would work for me? Is that common to hire somebody?
It's not common, and the reason being is both federal law and state law require that individuals go through a certain process to confirm that they are legally able to work in the United States. So to have someone go through the process of actually performing work without confirming that they're legally able to do so, that is an unusual request. And typically, someone needs to prove that they are legally able to work within 3 days of being hired. So if they don't have that, if they haven't proven through the I-9 process, they are not working legally. So no.
Okay, kind of knew the answer, but I'd rather hear it in layman terms, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, do you have a?
No, I will, but go ahead.
So this is about, let me choose my words carefully. This is about the arrogance of thinking that county policy does not apply to them. Okay. So the policies that we have are not just written willy-nilly. They're written to keep us in compliance with state and federal law. So by not following the policies, you've essentially broken the law, which is the crux of this.
Yeah, if you don't follow the policies are in place so that both the county and the attorney's office follow those policies that are in place. And so going around those policies and not heeding those policies would place you in violation of the policies and therefore in violation of the law.
Right, so this is the problem, that because the law has been broken, that we've had to hire outside counsel to give us competent legal advice to fix these issues.
Yes, that's correct.
And at this time, we can't even, we can't really believe what we're told by our own counsel that's elected. We have, again, we've had to go to outside counsel to do this, and that's the problem. This is what the public is, asking, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Because we're not getting competent advice about HR matters, and that's our problem.
That's correct, Chairman. So in this case, these individuals that were hired outside of typical channels. The county was not informed that they were hired. So they worked without being, they performed services for the county attorney without the county, without the board knowing that they were actually performing services. Once the county learned that they were in fact performing services and a request for back pay was made, it was months later the county then undertook an investigation to determine if they were in fact providing those services, made the determination that they were providing services, and because of the statutory obligations under both federal and state law, it was determined that back pay needed to be provided to those individuals.
Right.
And the reason why they missed back pay is because our HR department was never even notified that they were actually employed in the county attorney's office, correct?
That's correct. The typical hiring process was not followed, and that's why the county was unaware that these individuals were performing services for the county attorney.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
go ahead. No.
Okay, yeah, to finish my thought, one thing that all of us as elected officials, we have parameters that this board has put on each of us, including ourselves, that if we want to expand the amount of employees that we have in our own offices, or to give different classifications, pay raises, anything of that nature, that is, we've set policy here to where that has to come before us as a board to request all of those things. And none of our elected officials are exempt from any of that. Is that based on our policies? Is that correct?
Correct. Your policies apply across the board. They apply to elected officials. They apply to employees that are working under those elected officials. They apply to staff that have been hired by those elected officials. So the policies apply across the board. There's not an exemption to following the policy. That's stated within the policy or elsewhere.
And just by statute, we are tasked with approving job descriptions as well as pay or salary levels.
Yes, you're
And in this case, this was not done. This was done outside that said, hey, you want to come work for me and I'll pay you this much, and was not even not even a position that was approved for that department.
correct. So in this case, the offers that were made and accepted were oral offers of employment. And the county was unaware that those offers were being made, and were unaware that these individuals had actually started working until an investigation was undertaken, which resulted in interviews of those individuals as well as other staff members to determine if they were in fact performing services. Once the county was made aware that they were performing services, the county did what it needed to do to understand how long they were working for, what rate of pay that they were promised. And it wasn't that the county ratified their hiring, but the county is obligated statutorily to pay them for work performed. So there's no dispute that work was performed. Their hiring was not ratified, but the county, consistent with Arizona and federal law, was obligated to pay them.
And I think another thing that ought to be brought up, and especially in the public as well, is the liability that it places on us as a county, because we have employees that actually didn't have actual employment status as far as the county was concerned, and so therefore, we've had to seek legal counsel. They've gone out and sought legal counsel themselves, and so the liability as a county as a whole has now increased that much more because the proper procedures and processes never were applied, never even was looked at completely. Is that a fair assessment?
That's a fair assessment, yes.
And there are other ramifications from this as well that we're not going into today, but these employees being there without actually being employed is a whole nother can of worms.
Especially in an attorney capacity.
It creates a lot of exposure for access to files, to other persons, to representing oneself as an employee when they in fact are not, creating apparent authority issues. So yes, that's
Well,
correct.
and this was brought up in the letter to the Attorney General that we referred. So, yeah.
Jim, this could also have state and federal ramifications for the county, and also employment in the aspect of, God forbid, they would have gotten hurt during those months, correct?
Well, absolutely. Employers in Arizona are required to carry workers' compensation insurance. If you do not have an authorized employee that has been hired through the proper channels, the county would not know to add those individuals to, if they were covered under their workers' compensation insurance. It brings up immigration issues with respect to being legally authorized to work within the United States. So yes, it does create a bunch of exposure just beyond having to pay back pay. You're correct.
And as I said earlier, it's not only just, county, state, federal, it's just out in the public in general. No matter where you hire somebody, you have to follow these same exact rules that we have to follow, correct?
That's correct. There's no employer that's exempt from following the FLSA or Arizona wage statutes here in Arizona.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think Rich has made the comment before, prior, any kind of company that's out there, corporation, whether it's government or not, they have procedures when it comes to hiring processes. And especially in government, there needs to be some type of openness to that process and everything else of that nature. This stuff that we're having to deal with in executive session, and the fact that we came out here openly like this to openly discuss this amongst ourselves, but to the public, and let them know what's been happening behind the scenes, because we're all getting information. We're getting inundated with requests. What the heck's going on between you and your county attorney? But this is a big part of what's going on.
Yeah, the policies are in place to align both the county and its offices. And that's why those policies are put in place. It's not so that anyone can hamstring someone or handcuff someone from hiring who they want to hire, but there are policies in place so that the county can follow the applicable law.
We stay in compliance, yeah.
Okay.
And I would just like to, say to the public, I know this has taken over a year just to get this far, but we're having to cross all the Ts and dot all the Is to make sure that we're correct. So, for that, I'm sorry that it's taken so long, but there's more to come. So, are there any other questions from the board?
Well, there is one thing that I'd like to add to it, if I could, actually give direction to our staff, to give them direction to send a letter to our county attorney and our fellow hiring about our hiring procedures, that we reiterate that again. This is the hiring procedures, and anybody in their staff at the county attorney's office. We don't need this to come back and haunt us again. We need to really hit this hard.
So to say that the hiring and compensation are not valid unless they're approved by the HR and Board of Supervisors in advance?
That's
Is that
what I
you're
would
saying?
recommend, yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dennis. I believe that's it. Any other questions? Comments? Okay, thank you. Mr. Canfield, come on up. So I didn't mean to discount you and just leave you out there, but,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'll keep my remarks really brief. I just wanted to clarify a couple of things. One is, as outside counsel for the board, this is limited to just this employment matter with the county attorney's office, so I don't want anyone to be left with the impression that we're now counsel on all HR matters. The county attorney's office actually still is counsel on HR matters generally for the county, and I'm sure they're doing a fine job with that, so I wanted to make sure that was understood. The other thing I'll just mention quickly is I just want to make it clear that the board's decision to provide back pay to these employees in no way is any kind of a ratification, an acceptance, an acknowledgement, an agreement with the decision to hire these individuals outside the normal process and without authorization. It was, as Ms. Dennis just pointed out, a requirement, a legal requirement, under federal and state law. So and this is also the subject of the referral that the board has made to the Attorney General's office with regard to this conduct that was authorized by the board at its February 6th meeting and embodied in a letter from the chair on behalf of the entire board to the Attorney General on February 9th. And that is because although federal and state law required back pay in this situation, the decision to make these hires without authorization and despite being instructed not to raises other issues under the law that governs inappropriate use of government resources and expenditures. And so those issues are properly handled before the Attorney General, in addition to the fact that the Attorney General actually has statutory supervisory authority over county attorneys as well. So a number of those issues were raised in that letter, and that is currently pending before the Attorney General for the Attorney General's review.
Thank you, Mr. Canfield. Any questions for Mr. Canfield?
Just to make sure clarification in regards to what you just stated, in regards to the back pay, there was an investigation done by you guys, and so the fact of the matter is they actually did the work that they were assigned, that was within the parameters of what they were employed for. That's why we're making the payment.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Goodman, that's correct. Yes, so the investigation was undertaken to determine exactly what offers were made and whether the work was done. There was inconsistencies and inconsistent statements made in terms of these individuals. It was ultimately determined that they were offered positions despite being told the positions weren't available, and those individuals did in fact work. And as Ms. Dennis pointed out, at that point, once they worked, that sprung into life federal and state employment laws that require individuals to get paid, and as the point was made, that applies across the board, whether it's a public entity or a private entity. If somebody works in this country, they got to get paid. So it doesn't mean that the decision to offer them employment was lawful or correct, but it does mean they have to get paid. So again, we just want to make clear, and I think that the board's decision to provide that back pay was not in any way, shape, or form any kind of ratification, approval, acceptance of the county attorney's decision to make those employment offers.
Thank you.
At this point, it's just a mess we have to clean up,
Yes.
and thank you. Any other, okay. Thank you. All right, well, let's move on to item number 7, discussion, approval, disapproval to authorize the execution of any joint defense agreements and conflict waivers needed by outside counsel in order to defend Pinal County in the case of Valenzuela et al. Versus Johansson et al. And I believe, do we have any questions for Ms. Roberts or Mr. Durrani?
No.
No? Okay. In that case, make it a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 7 as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. Next item, item 8, is County Manager's Report. Mr. Liu, you're up.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman. Just one announcement. Next Wednesday, on the 11th at 1 p.m. is the ribbon cutting for Phase 2 of the Central Arizona Project, the CAP Canal National Trail Head, one of them that goes through our county. That's great. Okay, so the Central Arizona Project, as you know, the water source, 336 miles long, and it was always contemplated, in addition to that there would be a trail that runs along that canal, which would go all the way up to Vegas and the border of Mexico. So the Pinal County portion of that is about 100 miles, and as you can see up there, we're going to celebrate that Phase 2, which would go, all the way from really Marana area up here to Florence. And then it'll go further on in the future from there all the way up to AJ. That'll be about 100 miles. What you see there is a little over 40, and there's 4 trailheads to get on and off, but non-motorized, hiking, biking, horseback. And I think we'll have some links eventually on the website so the public can see where it's at, follow the rules there, and be able to get on and off and enjoy that recreation trail. 1 o'clock next Wednesday.
Yep.
Thank you.
Be there.
Yeah, you'll be
Hiking,
there.
hiking shoes and shorts. Here we go.
Yeah. You'll be saying a lot of this there, I'm sure. Thank you, Chairman, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Liu. Item number 9 is the supervisor district updates. I will start with Supervisor Goodman.
I'm going to keep it short.
That's why I
Yeah.
started with you.
Yeah. Santan Valley Town Offices ribbon cutting is tonight at 5 p.m. Before the town council meeting. And then April 24th and 25th, we have Love Your Community Cleanup Days in Santan Valley area in my district. It's really a cool project that we as a board brought into our several years ago. We started doing this, and it will be 2 days from 7 to 1, both days, Friday and Saturday, on the 25th and 24th of April. Bring all your garbage and everything else, and our guys will unload it right there at the yard. So you get curbside service. So thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Vidiello.
Thank you, Chairman. So I have a video here I'd like to play, and it's about battery storage video, and it's all about the safety of our firefighters. So we were able to get roughly 40, 45 firefighters throughout the county, Pinal County, to come to a seminar that was done so that way they can understand what's going on with the latest technology of batteries. Their safety is my #1 priority. When they go into a fire, a regular house fire, they don't know what they're walking into. They have garages they walk into, they have all the furniture, we have all this stuff that can burn and make a real mess and really bad for the actual firefighters. Well, I wanted them to know when they walk into if there happens to be a fire on battery storage, they know exactly what they're going to have to do, which is stay back, watch it, and make sure it doesn't spread. And you'll see in here we have containers lined up. So let's roll the video and you'll see, and if I can narrate it a little bit afterwards. Thank you.
Why we're here today. I want to make sure that when you walk into this, you know what you're walking into.
We're here today to talk about battery storage. It's become a very big thing, obviously, in the state of Arizona.
Spraying water and actually just exacerbated the problem, and it spread farther down that row.
Today is going to be a lecture on fire department response to lithium-ion batteries. This really is aimed at first responders.
I want to make sure that the firefighters in all of Pinal County are up to par to make sure that they know what to do and what not to do.
Half of responding to a lithium-ion battery is understanding the danger. Some of the dangers have been overstated and some understated.
They're out here to do the symposium, and then later on today we're going to leave Coolidge to go over to CAC to do a burn of a container. Public safety is huge for me. A safe city, safe town, safe county is going to bring economic development. And I want to make sure that the firefighters know what they're walking into.
And now it's still burning underwater.
The training we do is very well received, and people are just happy to be safer. They're happy to learn about it, and you learn a lot from the firemen.
That fire burned for hours. A flaming battery in the middle of a lot of flaming batteries.
Batteries are safer, so we're not seeing battery failures every day, even though we can see a battery failure every single day in the news.
The technology has changed dramatically. They're getting smaller, they're getting more efficient, and the burn is a lot different than it was.
This is something that a lot of companies that are building the battery storage units, we like them to come out and train the local fire departments for anything that might happen. It gives us a lot of good information, it gives us response plans, just to make sure that everybody's safe, public, firefighters. Everybody that responds to these, we want them to be safe.
It's important for the people to know that there really isn't as much danger out of a battery fire than there is of your house fire. The myth is that batteries are going to kill people. Even myself, over a year ago, I was very scared of batteries But now I'm becoming up to date on it and learning more and more.
I found that the companies that we're dealing with now that are building these are really forthcoming to let us know exactly what they're using. They walk us through everything. They give us every scenario that could possibly happen. Battery storage units now are engineered so great that the chance of fire going outside of one of those containers is very, very slim.
Battery energy storage systems, electric vehicles are pretty safe technologies.
So that's why they want to make sure that they're keeping up to date what's going on, because it is newer technology. And that's why we'll continue changing. Again, it's all about the firefighters knowing what they're walking into. So if you noticed in one of the videos, part of the video there was them just pouring water on top of these. If you notice, the container was actually melting. Today, the containers are made of fireproof steel, and they're also insulated. So from when that fire that happened that they were just pouring water on was going on, that's old technology. That's not how it happens now. Today, the firefighters would respond, be there, God forbid there is shrubbery around or stuff like that. They generally don't sit there and dump hundreds of thousands of gallons of water on them. There's no need to. And those containers were literally side by side. Normally they're spaced out probably anywhere between 5 to 10 feet. So when the fire, which they didn't show, actually engages, the roof blows off, so the fire can shoot straight up, and it's not going to have stuff burning all over the place. The other issue is people talk about the smoke. The smoke that is coming out dissipates within 100 feet. If you saw the guy carrying all those cables, he was bringing them to an area to set up sensors 100 feet away, and they took readings. And again, the firefighters were standing 10, 15 feet away during the burn. They didn't show the actual burn. So what I'm getting at is it is much safer. Now, again, I'm still doing a lot of investigation. We're still learning more about it. But we want you to know that the newest technology is much safer than it was, which you just saw in that one fire that they were just dumping thousands of gallons of water on. Anyway, you can watch that video again. It's on YouTube, so if you have a chance, you can watch it. A couple more updates. Attended a CSA meeting on energy and all sorts of different bills, which I'm sure either Dana will have some information on that. Also attended Thunderbird Fire. They had a fundraiser, 399 steaks. They actually cooked 399 steaks, which means we had 399 people show up. It was a fundraiser for their fire department because they are just a local fire department. That same night, I also had the Maricopa banquet where they were honoring firefighters for all different types of awards, and that was their second one. Then, of course, Coolidge City Council, and then attended also Maricopa City Council. Then we had a grand opening of Mike Ingram Park. If you don't know who he is somebody who has been probably the man who was the reason why Maricopa exists today. He opened, he's the one who got the 347 to 2 lanes. If they would have listened to him 30 years ago, it would have been 3 lanes already, and maybe we've even gone to 4 lanes by now. Also, I attended the Night with the Stars for CAC. What that was grants given to college students so they can attend college where they might not have been able to go to college at all. So that was a great night. Also, AG, Chris Mays came to the city of Maricopa to talk about senior scamming, such as mortgage fraud, all sorts of fraud over the internet, credit card fraud, just all the type of fraud. It was great to have her there to speak for about an hour and a half about fraud. Then I also attended Maricopa Chamber for their banquets to award awards to different businesses throughout the city of Maricopa. And then I was asked just the other day to judge the City of Coolidge Cotton Days Parade. I'm going to be a judge for the 2nd year in a row. One of the biggest announcements I want to make, and I'm actually so proud and so happy to be a part of the Public Works team, and they have been working on the Ralston Road Bridge since July of last year. I am announcing today that they are opening that up 3 months earlier to the public of Hidden Valley Thunderbird Farms, roughly April 5th through the 7th. They said they might get it done a little earlier, which I want to make a shout out to, again, Public Works for for getting this project done. It's a massive project. I've put a video up on there. It's also on YouTube. Again, I want to shout out to them for getting it at least 3 months in advance, which is a huge, because they told them it was going to be 1 year closure. So this will open it back up, and they'll be able to cross over the bridge come April roughly 5th through the 7th. And they may even happen a little bit sooner. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Supervisor Vitiello. Supervisor Surtee, you're up.
I have a couple things and then a couple videos. First, it's snake season right now. It's perfect weather for them. And we have snakes in every district except District 2, which I believe they wiped them all out when they built all the houses down there. So you're safe over there. But another thing, for the last several months, I was promising that we would have type of a panel or seminar on SMRs, micronuclear. But I don't think that's really necessary now because it is becoming so mainstream to talk about it. I think it's working its way out, and people are aware of it now. And as you saw, the Arizona House just passed a bill. So rather than do something that everybody else is doing, I think just pay attention because that is right around the corner. I want to thank Pinal County staff was at Lost Dutchman Days this last weekend. They had the van out there, and that was great representing us, and they let me sit in for a while. And 3 of our 5 districts have exciting copper news. Copper is really on the forefront, and we're getting back to being the copper county and the copper state. And I have a couple videos, one having to do with clearing up why the county is having to fence Peralta Road in east of Gold Canyon, if we could watch that.
Supervisor Jeff Surtee here in Pinal County at Peralta Road at Lost Gold Mine Trail parking lot. The county has acquired the right-of-way to the road.
And this is in conjunction with an upcoming roadway project. The plan is to pave Peralta Road. We'll be paving probably 2028, contingent upon funding for the roadway.
Which is going to be paved with grant money, not county funds. Some people are not for that. I have mixed feelings about it, but it is going to be paved.
Typically when you purchase right-of-way from state land, they do require you to fence the right-of-way.
To do the road improvements, it has to be fenced. That's one of state trust land's requirements.
But we're getting ahead of that, going ahead and fencing off the right-of-way now. We're approaching the Wave Cave Kearney Springs parking lot. And it's not an actual official parking lot. Some of the public has just kind of started parking there, and it's grown from there. As you can see, it can become a safety issue. The vehicles are so close to the road. You've got people backing out into the road. It's just not safe anymore.
Of course, this one says that the Wave Cave Kearney Springs will be closed March 2nd. And to encouraging people to go park at the big one that we were just at. This is the parking lot that's going to stay open. It's very big. There's room for horse trailers, etc. The one that's just before here, the Kearney Springs Wave Cave, that one is going to be closed. That was never an official parking lot. So this is the one that we want everyone to use, and this is the one that the state trust land wants everybody to use. There has never been ATV access in here legally. You just can't take an ATV everywhere back here and ride. You're doing damage, and so it's going to be closed. It's going to be just like the rest of state trust land. To use the state trust land, you need a permit. It's always been that way, and you'll see the signs out here that say that.
This is obviously a beautiful area. Everybody knows that. All the hiking's open, the park's open, and come and enjoy.
So we also had an opportunity, I've been talking about invasive weeds and mostly the globe chamomile stinknet, and we did a video on it, hopefully explaining it a little bit further.
Supervisor Jeff Surtee, and I'm here to talk about something I've been talking about a lot in the last few months and years actually, and that's globe chamomile, or as it's commonly known, stinknet. And it is threatening to take over everything in the desert and in our yards. You probably have it close to you in your house. It's very important you get rid of it before it goes to seed. If you spray it and it's already in seed, it can still drop. I have it right here. Oh my God, it is so stinky. Now, don't confuse it with this one. This is brittle bush. This is a good native plant. A lot of people see the yellow flowers and they think this is it. No, this is it. It's an invasive species from Africa. And if you just cut this and these things crush, you're gonna actually make it worse. You need to pick this, put it in a bag and get rid of it, or you could be causing even more problems by spreading it. So either kill it when it's small, or if you pull it like this, put it in a bag, get it in the trash. And by the way, this happens to be Invasive Species Week. Us in the county, we're doing battle with these plants. So go to pinal.gov for more info.
And don't wave it around like that either. Pick it up carefully, but don't wave it around.
I got it growing in my lungs.
Yeah, there you go, okay. All right, so, let's see, for me, well, Supervisor Miller, are you out there? Do you have anything to say?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Just real quick, the reason I'm not there today is a very special day, and I think in Pinal County, that Arizona Water has been awarded a designation for their CCNM in the Pinal AMA. This has been a 10-year endeavor by many, many people. So I just want to say that it was an honor for the governor to ask me to be part of the presentation today and part of the signing ceremony. And I want to thank all the people that have participated in coming to these solutions. It wasn't done by any one person. There were lots of people that worked on it tirelessly, hours and hours and hours and days, but we've gotten there. I said to the group, the stakeholders group, when I formed them around 10 years ago, there's two things everybody's got to keep in mind. Failure is not an option, and I think we've accomplished that. And the other thing I told them, nobody will get everything they want, that everybody will get what they need, and we've accomplished that. And it's just a great day in the water world. It's going to benefit Pinal County tremendously to be able to move forward with projects, and it is good water management. We are going to be responsible with our water. We're going to be very resourceful with our water, and I'm just very, very thrilled to have been part of this and to have this day come about it. And then for my district, I think the big thing this weekend is the Cactus Fly-In. For all you people that are into airplanes and antique planes and all kinds of planes, they'll be showing up here at the Casa Grande Airport this weekend. It's really a great day for airplane enthusiasts. We get a lot of people that come down to see that. So I think that's all I had. I did attend the Night of the Stars for the CAC group. It was a great event, and they do a lot of good with their money as far as handing out scholarships to people. So very proud to be part of that. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Miller. From my district, last weekend we had a cleanup event similar to what Supervisor Goodman talked about out in Salmon Well for Salmon Well, Oracle, and Mammoth. And I was out there Friday morning. We had over 300 cars Friday morning. Saturday, we had another 300 cars. So 627 vehicles came through with trailers full of, you just can't believe what everybody's got. I mean, dishwashers, old compressors, tires, trash, yard waste. I can't remember the exact number, but it was something like 35 or 40-yard containers that got hauled off, and another few hundred tires. And it's just amazing. But what's great is that it's not out in the desert, and they were able to haul it off. So that's really a great deal. And this weekend, Friday and Saturday from 7 to 1, in Arizona City, we have the Arizona City and Silver Bell cleanup, and that'll be held at the Arizona City Maintenance Yard on Battaglia. And so we look forward to seeing even more trash staying out of the desert. So they're always great events. And with that, I've got nothing else going on, so Thank you very much. We have item number 10 now is a discussion and updates regarding the 2026 Arizona State Legislative Session. And Supervisor Miller normally takes some of this, but Ms. Lewis takes the other part, and she's here, so what have you got, Ms. Lewis?
Chairman McClure, members of the board, Dana Lewis, Pinal County Recorder, and presenting the legislative update. We are in the 52nd day of the legislative session. Last Wednesday, they spent over 19 hours straight voting on bills and working until 5 a.m. in the morning. Of the nearly 2,000 bills introduced, only about 25% of them have been passed either through the House or Senate so far. And most bills are now in their second chamber where they go through the committee process all over again. One of the most recent things was the Legislative Policy Committee associated with the Arizona Association of Counties. We work in tandem with the County Supervisors Association when it comes to legislative priorities. We did adopt supporting HB 2307, HB 2938, and HB 2960 as bills are being added. Mid-session, we're having to work in fast time. We are opposing HB 2369, SB 1437, public records, the formatting, and then the reduction of fees or no fees, and then SB 1655. I can speak to this one directly. What they were trying to do is if you were signed up to be a poll worker and you worked as the polls, then you didn't have to fulfill jury duty requirements. And the information that we've received from the public is, no, they want to be jury duty members and provide that service because they believe in civil service, and then also want to be poll workers too, so they don't want to see that happen. We're opposed as written on HB 2749, felony convictions, sentence completions, and designations. We are in open committees this afternoon, and I know some people will be down at the legislature testifying today as well. Any questions, gentlemen?
Any questions from the board? No. Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
Have a good day, gentlemen. Thank you, sir.
And Chairman, if I may, this report has been attached to the agenda item.
Okay, thank you. Duly noted. All right, item number 11, discussion approval, disapproval of the recognition of AmeriCorps National Civilian Community Corps members under the leadership of the University of Arizona Cooperative Extension. AmeriCorps NCCC empowers young adults to serve in disaster response, environmental conservation, infrastructure improvement, and education, and recognizes Pinal County AmeriCorps NCCC. I think I got enough C's in there. Recognizing the members for their dedication and impactful contributions to the county and the nation. And we have Ms. Elliott right there. Come on down. How are you today?
I'm good. Actually, my name is Cinda Willits.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm
okay.
just I'm reading what I
know.
get told, so I'm sorry.
You're fine. Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the board. It is my honor today to introduce an exceptional group of young people who have given their time, energy, and hard work to the people of Pinal County. And we refer to them as NCCC. That way you don't have to say all the C's.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
and you can keep track of it easy. Okay.
NCCC Team Grizzly 4. The AmeriCorps National Civilian Community Corps, or NCCC, places teams of young adults across the county, or excuse me, across the country to serve communities in meaningful, hands-on ways. Grizzly 4 has done exactly that and then some. During their time here, they are dedicated individuals. These dedicated individuals repaired a damaged subfloor in the agricultural literacy classroom, ensuring a safe and welcoming learning environment for students. They trimmed trees and performed extensive landscaping at the Maricopa Agricultural Center's Ag Village, work that saved Pinal County for thousands of dollars in contractor costs. At Picacho Peak State Park, they made a tremendous impact, building 11 retaining walls, rebuilding a 50-foot section of the park's most popular trails, fixing or constructing over 10 rock steps, completely removing invasive buffalo grass from the peak, fully rock lining the Sunset Connector Trail, and clearing multiple group sites of weeds. Their trail work alone will benefit hikers and visitors for years to come. Back at the MAC Center, they have helped prepare the roof for solar panel installation, a project that's estimated to save approximately $90,000. They've taught agricultural literacy to students on field trips at Ag Village, distributed fresh produce at Market on the Move and the Casa Grande farmers markets, and created an educational maze teaching school children about the 5 C's of Arizona. And next week, they are wrapping up their term by helping us prepare for 4-H programming at Pinal County Fair. These are just a few of their many accomplishments. We are here today to recognize Grizzly 4 for their outstanding service, their community spirit, and their commitment to making Pinal County a better place. Please join me in welcoming and thanking the members of NCCC Team Grizzly 4. Can they come up?
Absolutely. Come on down.
Come on, guys. Thanks. This is just an outstanding group of young adults, and we are so lucky to have them working with us.
We're very happy. Thank you very much for all that you do. We really appreciate it. I need you to come by my yard and pull weeds, man. That's what I want.
They are experts at pulling weeds.
That's why we have grandkids, you know that, right?
Mine don't live by here, so I got a request. But we'd love to, I think we have a plaque for you, and we'd like to get a picture with you as well.
Yeah.
You guys mind that? You got your picture faces on? Okay, we're coming down. I'm sorry, what? Oh, you want me to vote on something? Okay, fine. Okay, so before we do that, though, we have to approve it. Item number 11. Can I get a motion for item number 11, please?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 11 as presented with the statement that we appreciate you for all that you've done to help us here. Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate it by saying aye.
Aye.
Did he say aye? Aye. Miller, you there?
Yeah, aye.
Aye, there we go. Okay. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Now, don't go away. We're coming right down.
Thanks, guys.
Who's going to be the recipient? Who wants to be the
Oh, that's
recipient?
the one in green. Let's-
The one in green.
We're gonna give it to him.
You are the plaque holder. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. I'm just going to do this from the front. It's easier than from the back. And then I'll let Kevin.
Everybody ready? Everybody take one step up. Oh, we gotta move over. There we go. And that works good. I like the height works good. Yeah. Come in right here. No, him. There you go. Then, hold on. Jeff, come over here. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay. There we go. Come right here. Tiny bit. Don't move a lot. Move it that way just a little bit. There you go. Well, are you saying it's always a better picture without you in it? Okay, everybody's gonna look right here. I'm gonna take a couple here so you get a couple chances. Tilt the plaque down for me. There you go. I was just trying to get not too much glare on it. All right, everybody, big smile. 3, 2. We're gonna do it again one more time. Let me double check something. No, we're good. Okay, and last chance. I want to be big smile. 3, 2. There we go. Thank you very much.
All right, let's see, we are at item 12. Discussion, approval, disapproval of a proclamation of Pinal County Board of Supervisors declaring March 20, 2026 as Procurement Month to recognize the role of the public procurement profession. And I believe Ms. Gorman is the presenter here. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. All right. And so, do you have any, don't read it yet, but do you have anything to say about it?
I do. I have a little blurb.
A little bit. Okay, there you go.
Hello, Chairman, Vice Chairman, Board of Supervisors. I want to take a minute to thank the procurement team for all they do for the departments, elected offices, and the citizens who live within Pinal County. They have accomplished their roles with a high level of integrity and ethics while ensuring that they are able to provide constant customer service as well. Over the past couple of years, they have struggled to maintain a full staff, but are now a solid team who have been together for over 2 years, apart from 3 newer team members, of which I am one. We currently have 2 buyers, 5 procurement officers, and 1 purchasing supervisor that I have the pleasure of working with. I have the utmost gratitude, confidence, and pride in the purchasing division team to continue working for Pinal County in the most valuable and cooperative way, and it is a pleasure to work with each one of them. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, Board, we need an approval or disapproval, but may I get a motion, please, on this item, this proclamation?
Mr. Chair, make a motion to approve item 12 as written.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 There we go. Okay. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much, all. And Ms. Gorman, would you please like to read the proclamation?
Yes, I will.
You got
Thank
your
you.
reading glasses on, you ready to go? All right, here we go.
Whereas the public procurement profession plays a significant role in the efficiency and effectiveness of both government and business, and whereas in addition to the purchase of goods and services, procurement adds value to the organization by performing such functions as executing, implementing, and administering contracts, developing strategic procurement strategies, and cultivating working relationships with suppliers and other departments within the organization. And whereas public procurement professionals have tremendous influence on the economic conditions in the county, with the cumulative purchasing power running into millions of dollars, and whereas public procurement professionals are uniquely positioned to build public trust in our county by diligently ensuring fair, open, and transparent bidding opportunities by providing strategic, logistical, and operational support of all departments within the county, and whereas Pinal County recognizes, supports, and practices the public procurement values and guiding principles of accountability, ethics, impartiality, professionalism, service, and transparency established by the Institute for Public Procurement as fundamental tenets of the public procurement profession, and whereas the Institute for Public Procurement has proclaimed the month of March as Procurement Month to further expand awareness of the purchasing professional's role to government officials, the general public, business, and corporate leaders, now therefore be it proclaimed by the Pinal County Board of Supervisors does hereby recognize the month of March 2026 as Procurement Month in Pinal County.
Yeah. So we would now come and do a picture. Oh, we have to, no, yes, no, we voted already. Don't talk.
Yes.
I'm just looking. I'm making sure I'm doing it right. Okay. Now we'll come and take another picture here.
Well, my team's not here.
Well, then you have to do it all by yourself.
We want you.
Okay.
Pretty good spot. Rich, just a tiny bit. Not that much. There you go. And, all right, nice big smile. 3. Ready? And 3, 2. We're going to do it again just to make sure. 3, 2, 1. Nice, thank you.
All right. And to keep it all moving, this is now the Purchasing Division report by guess who? Ms. Gorman, come on back.
Hello again. Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chairman, Board of Supervisors, Tracy Gorman, Purchasing Manager, and this is the Purchasing Division report for March 4th, 2026. In this report, the Board is requested to approve 5 contract awards for RFQ 260930 for accounting services, SOQ 262231 for on-call construction management services, of which we're awarding to 3 vendors, SOQ 262331 on-call engineering development plan review services, of which we are awarding to 2 vendors, SOQ 263631 Family Advocacy Center Counseling, we are awarding to 2 vendors. IFB 264227 for Fleet Services Building. The Board is requested to approve 6 contract amendments for RFP 204126, Towing Services for PCSO, we're awarding to 18 vendors. RFP 222326 for Public Health Consulting. RFP 242729 for landscaping services, RFP 243628 for courier services, RFP 251830 for night vision equipment, we're awarding to 9 vendors, RFP 252330 for electronic poll books. We are requesting the Board approve 1 amendment to a competition impracticable over $100,000 per Procurement Code Section PC 1-502. There is 1 purchase order change that requires your approval. There are 2 cooperative purchasing agreements we would like to notify you of, as they are between $100,000 and $250,000. And lastly, we are seeking approval of 2 cooperative purchase requisitions over $250,000. Any questions?
Are there any questions from the board for Ms. Gorman? Hearing none, make it a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the purchasing report dated March 4th, 2026 as presented.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 There we go. Okay, opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Gorman.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Item number 14 is consent items, A through U. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, or member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. Presently, I have Mr. Reck wanting to pull item P. Is that correct? Mr. Vidiello, did you have one you wanted to pull? No? Okay, just checking. I thought maybe J would be yours. Are there any other items that, from the board, wish to be pulled?
No.
Hearing none. County manager? Public, Ms. Badasky. M, like Mary and Nancy, both of them just going down the street. Mary and, okay. All right. Any others from the public? Mr. Revello. Quick. Thank you, Mr. Revello. Any others from the public? Hearing none. May I get a motion, please, for consent items A through U minus item P, minus M, minus N, and minus Q?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve consent items A through U minus M, N, Q. Did you say P?
I did.
P
P.
and T.
No, Q, like quick, not twit.
P and Q, but no T.
But no T.
Okay.
Can you say that again?
Yes. Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve all items on consent items A through U minus M, N, P, Q.
Very good, thank you. Is there a second? Okay, I have a motion, a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 There we go. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. And we will start. Let's start with Ms. Podasky. M. And you can talk about both since you're there. Don't want to,
Dear Podolsky, and M and N both deal with a grant application with the Gila River Indian community under a shared revenue program. So this is more of a just general informational thing. We often hear about how many acres of land in Pinal County isn't taxable, including tribal land. And I have some knowledge of relationships between governments and tribes, but none in Arizona, other states, other tribes. So I just was curious on how this relationship works in Pinal County and what this shared revenue program is. So,
okay.
and if there's no one that can really answer it right now, I would accept somebody writing me a letter.
Okay.
Okay?
Is there anybody, I think I can just tell you real quickly that it's a requirement of the state for the casinos when they have money that they give the money back out to different organizations.
So this is casino money?
More than likely, yes.
Okay, so there is revenue from the non-tribal, from the tribal land. That's part of the not being taxed. You can have a casino, but you have to give back money. Is that, okay?
That's basically what this is. It's a
Okay.
state statute, so requirement.
Okay, thank you.
I'm pretty sure that's the case because I've heard it before, so I don't think I'm speaking out of turn there. Okay, M and N. P.
P.
What, did somebody say my name?
Chair,
Yeah, ma'am. Somebody's saying my name someplace.
Chairman, if I may, before we move on, can we vote on M?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay.
Can we do them together, or would we like to do them separately?
Chairman, we can do them together.
All right. May I get a motion, please, for items M and N?
Mr. Chairman, may I speak on that item?
Supervisor Miller would like to say something in
Yeah,
regard.
yeah, you know what I'm hearing? Echoes it's the weirdest thing. It's like I feel like I'm in a tin can up here. But yes, Supervisor Miller, please speak to it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, they do give grant money out, but you have to apply for it. If people don't apply for it, they don't give it out. So and we never know how much is available for grants and what the criteria is. But you do have to apply for it if you want the grant money from the casinos. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you, Supervisor.
And I guess to go off of that, this has to be approved by us in order to apply for it, correct?
It comes through us, yes.
Okay.
We act as the fiscal agent.
We're the fiscal agent
Okay,
for the monies that.
Which
to
means
move.
we have to
It
vote.
it passes through us, but yes.
Okay.
So, I forget where I am, but let's see, did I get a motion on M and N? I had a motion there to have a second on that? Oh, excellent, okay. I have a motion and a second on items M and N. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed?
I
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. Mr. Reck, item P. Sorry about that. We're just like,
Thank you. Because of recent controversies regarding the county and the Department of Homeland Security, different items involving the department have drawn my attention, which is this item P. After reading the grant request from the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, I have several questions. Some are informational, some of them are concerns about the request. And I have asked Clerk Kennedy to open item P on the screen and scroll down to application 2026 Operation Stone Garden, so you can follow along as I ask my questions and air my concerns, of which I have many. However, I don't see Sheriff Teeple here, and I'm not sure that a lot of these things can be responded to today because of that. So I guess I would ask that even as I go through this, that perhaps, if nothing else, it be tabled until Sheriff Teeple can respond.
I know that he's out of town at the moment, so.
Right, okay. So on page 2, it talks about agency resources and that the average certified officers in Stone Garden deployments are 2 a day, 14 a week, and 125 a month. But that math doesn't add up. 14 a week times 4 is 56. So I just had a question about the numbers there. It also mentions the average burn rate per month is 1,800 hours. And again, just for informational purposes, what is a burn rate? I have no idea what that is. Going on to page 5, the request is for $2,677,835 for overtime and EREs. The objectives regarding human and drug trafficking along with terrorism, which is a legitimate concern considering what is going on in Iran right now. It mentions increased patrols and aviation operations in the Tucson sector. My question is Pima County then also involved with this? It also mentions that the last funding cycle in the fiscal year 2024, that 10,647 hours were provided to support DHS, which is just shy of 30 hours a day, and 125 participated in daily assignments. Going back to the previously mentioned math problem, this doesn't make sense mathematically or logistically. 30 hours a day doesn't match these numbers. The daily shift coverage has been decreased to 2 10-hour shifts to maintain overtime burn rates. That would be 20 hours a day. And again, I ask, what are burn rates? Then the narrative is cut off, as you'll notice in the gray box there, that it ends with the word "this," and that there must be more to the sentence than that, but it's not there. Going on to page 6, again, in overtime in EREs, requesting $1,950,000 at an overtime rate of $90 an hour at 10 hours of deployment with 310 deployments a year. But now it mentions that there are 7 sworn personnel. And so I'm wondering why it changed from 2 to 7. On page 7, there's an equipment request for $750,000. And again, those 10,647 hours previously mentioned with 2,467 stops, 84 citations, which I presume are traffic citations, 8 immigration cases, 109 undocumented persons turned over to Border Patrol, which, doing the math, is a success rate of just over 8% per stop. And so I'm wondering, is this a comparable rate for normal law enforcement activities? And how does this relate to the new enforcement activities along I-10 that have been instituted by Sheriff Teeple? Again, you'll notice the narrative box is cut off, that there is more information that is somewhere not there. On page 10, it mentions the 3-month project activities. Again, the narratives in the boxes are cut off. Page 12, questions 3 and 4 audits. They're answered yes. So has that been done? And that has been questioned several times during this meeting. And I'm wondering how that relates to the article that was in the Casa Grande Dispatch regarding problems with the Pinal County audits in general. Page 15, standard data collection form. It lists the district as federal, number 4, and actually Pinal County covers 2, 5, 6, and 7, and state 8, when Pinal County covers 7, 8, and 16. On page 18, the NIMS compliance, which is the National Incident Management System. All 7 items were checked yes in terms of review and revision, but were concepts and principles incorporated into training? The options are yes all, yes some, or no. The answer is some, and I guess that's a little bit of a concern to me. I would hope that perhaps that would be answered as all. Of the 6, only the 1 is checked, Incident Command System. Public information is not checked. And as a member of the public, I would hope that perhaps that would be. The same 6 priorities to be incorporated into training, the same response, only the 1. Are the concepts and principles incorporated into exercises? On page 19, at the very top, the answer is no. So none of the 6 are checked. And so again, that's a bit of a concern to me. If there are exercises, why none of that is being incorporated into them. Priorities to incorporate into exercises, incident command, multi-agency coordination are checked. 4 are not checked, again, including public information. Questions 12 and 13, MINS inventory systems related to FEMA, both are answered no. And again, that's a bit of a concern. I would hope that this would be some way or another linked into FEMA. Question 14, priorities to enhance NIMS implementation, only 3 out of the 8 are checked. Question 15, access and reentry plan to control the flow of resources and personnel into the area of an incident, no. Question 16, tools, training, guidance, or support that would be helpful to enhance NIMS implementation, there's no answer at all. And lastly, on page 20, the agency responsibilities, number 1, should include American citizens. I believe it only refers to undocumented people. And number 2, it mentions, quote, reasonable suspicion stops. And again, I have concern over that definition and the I-10 stops authorized by Sheriff Teeple. And lastly, page 21, the Stone Garden deployments. Tucson is mentioned again. And again, I ask, is Pima County involved? I believe that because of the structural problems with this grant as it's proposed, as well as the conceptual problems, that again, if nothing else, this proposal be tabled until those problems can be dealt with and Sheriff Teeple can address the issues raised. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Reck. So item P. I need a motion for this, please.
I move we approve item T.
P, no, P.
P. And T.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
I second it.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
I'm sorry, you, Mr. Miller, you're an aye. Supervisor Miller, were you an aye to the approve or disapprove? Supervisor Miller, are you out there? Okay. Okay, those opposed? No. So with that, but I need Supervisor Miller's. I assume he's a yes for passing it, but I'm only assuming.
Chairman McClure, until you can verify that Supervisor Miller has rejoined the meeting.
I'm sorry, I can't hear up here.
I think he has his phone on.
Is this on?
I'm
Until you can,
I voted aye.
Oh, you voted aye for passing, yes. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's very difficult to hear you, Supervisor Miller. You're very quiet. Thank you for that. But, okay, so I have 4 yeses, 1 no. Motion passes.
He said aye.
He said aye. We have 4 yeses, and I have 1 no, so motion passes. Okay. Item Q, Mr. Revelis.
Roberto Revelis, resident of Gold Canyon. My questions, and unfortunately the sheriff apparently isn't present, but I think it's becoming clear Mr. Chairman, that perhaps it's time for the board to reevaluate the criteria for placing items on the consent agenda, because I think it's unfair to the officials who are being asked these questions to not have an adequate time to gather the information. And while I am a critic of inefficiency, I think that we ought to be also cognizant that these officials have limited time in which to prepare items for extemporaneous responses like the previous item just requested. My questions are simple on item Q, and it's unfortunate that the sheriff isn't here, but I'll change my questions to recommendations because the grant is to organize arrest booking information and records. And I would recommend that because of the high incidence of firearms used in criminal activities under the national criminal history, that the sheriff should consider putting together information that will provide an answer as to whether a firearm was used in the arresting incident and whether the purchase of a firearm was made legally, and thirdly, whether that purchase was subjected to a background investigation. I think that'll help us all in the public regain trust in our law enforcement and support for the law enforcement and the judicial system. So I hope, Mr. Chairman, that you will nonetheless consider reevaluating the criteria for placing items on the consent agenda to avoid these burdensome, detailed questions being raised on an extemporaneous basis. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Reveles. All right, I need a motion for item Q, please.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve Q as written.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
A motion is second. Those in favor, please indicate it by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. I'm sorry. I got you, Supervisor Miller. You're an aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Yeah, we have an echo up here. It's Miller. It's crazy. Okay. All right, thank you. All right. Where am I? Okay. We'll come back to that. Okay, at this point, I'm going to recess the Board of Supervisors' regular meeting and convene into district meetings. The first one will be the Pinal County Flood Control District. We'll do that, and I will open the Flood Control District. Flood Control District Board of Supervisors or Board of Directors agenda. We have consent items A and B. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, or member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. Are there any items that the board wishes to pull? Seeing none. From county manager, public. Seeing none, then I will ask for a motion on the consent items A and B, please.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion for, to approve the flood district A and B as written.
I have a motion to approve items A and B. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. I got that one. Okay. Those opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. Thank you. I will now adjourn the flood control District Board of Directors meeting and open the Pinal County Public Health Services District Board of Directors meeting. Again, we have consent items only on this, items A through C. All items indicated alphabetically below will be handled by a single vote as part of the consent agenda unless a board member, county manager, member of the public objects at the time the agenda item is called. Does the board have any requests here? Hearing, seeing none. And my most vocal one, you don't have anything to say? No, he's quiet. Okay. County manager, no. Public? Hearing, seeing none. All right, may I get a motion, please, on items A through C?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the Public Health Service District Board of Directors agenda dated Wednesday, March 4th, 2026.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 There we go. Gotcha. Okay, those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. I will now adjourn the Public Health Services District Board of Directors meeting and reconvene the Board of Supervisors regular meeting. And give me a second to catch up. We will get there in a moment. There we are. At this point, we are at, yes, we're at item 17, call to the public. And I see Vanna coming with the list of vowels. Thank you very much. And, okay, thank you. All right. And so let's see, call to the public. This, of course, is a call to the public. Is time for the time period for members of the public to address the Board of Supervisors to provide public input relating to the subject matter within the Board of Supervisors' authority or jurisdiction. Those wishing to address the Board of Supervisors need not request permission in advance. Action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter or rescheduling it for further consideration and decision at a later date. When you are called and come up, please do state your name and generally where you live. And again, we can't respond unless we can only respond to criticism if our name is called and all that stuff. So I'm not going there. Okay, first off is Mr. McCain. You're up.
Good morning, or good afternoon. Chair McClure, Board of Supervisors, staff, friends. I'm Barry McCain from the city of Maricopa. No one said it. The legislative session, we're already up to 4,000 bills, and I'm tired, but I'm playing hooky today. So, as I said before, this legislative session, we must address election reform because we have a cabal in Maricopa City Council that includes the District 1 supervisor. They haven't got a college degree among them while they fabricate, put out misinformation, disinformation to cover their blatant lies to control political position, silence people's voices, control the money, and other candidates are harassed, such as myself. Case in point, Maricopa City Council started talking about economic development in 2050. Economic development changes only 4 to 5 years because of the presidential election. Then the council said that they had plenty of water, but informed people know that water situation is very critical. Following that, the council made an excuse about having rental apartments will not depreciate the cost to resell houses. So now it costs for a studio rental over $1,300 per month, and they're stacking people in apartments like a can of sardines, which increases the water consumption, proportionally causing a worse water crisis. The young city manager is overpaid and overcompensated. I-347 is back-to-back traffic with too many accidents, but the light rail was not installed to de-escalate traffic congestion. This Maricopa City Council is promising environment that they cannot deliver and call a public violates free speech as guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. These are some of the reasons why cronyism is so destructive to a republic. The outburst of Mr. Vitello last February 5th, 2025 is proof that this cabal exists. This cabal uses unprofessional conduct which deserve professional discipline. This is a perfect example of why election reform is needed, since Mr. Vitelli is so comfortable with his self-imposed stupidity. Then he should be removed from office to protect the citizens of District 1. There is no excuse for someone with a high school education and no experience that talks like out of his butt. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Noah Markham. You're not Mr. Markham.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Noah Markham. I'm going to guess you're Lenora Noble. It's close.
Aloha, Chairman, to the rest of the Pinal Board of Supervisors. My name is Noah James Markham. I'm from the great city of Tempe. Pinal County needs to keep on building here. And, you know, the guys on this board, apparently, there's a one guy on this board that had to go to Apache Junction meeting and had to stop an apartment building from building because of traffic, when you should be really focused over here where your board is at. Stop complaining about how much traffic there is. We need to build more housing. We need more places to go. Another thing, great work on the 287G agreement and not letting that be in Pinal County. That's how we do it. And we had to push back against this administration and always be able to recognize the Japanese concentration camps here, right here in Pinal County, and how embarrassing this is to Japanese Americans in America. And I know people are talking about illegal immigration is causing drugs. Don't we already have drugs without the illegal aliens? Another thing, some sheriff wife was talking about rape and how the illegal immigrant did that. Don't you know that that happens in America even if the illegal aliens are here? No. In America, you know, there's these same boring excuses. It's sad. I know it's sad. But God is watching everything. Let's keep on building and keep on putting Pinal Sheriff, more people, making sure that they have access with disabilities, make sure that we have more women sheriff, make sure that there's more diversity, equity, inclusion. Please bring the light rail. And then the one last thing I have is the first person that started the 287G agreement was George W. Bush. 10 million people, illegal aliens, more than President Obama and President Biden combined. And I bet Trump will be up there too with George W. Bush. Thank you for my time today. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a comment? If everybody would just stay about 10 inches away from the mic and talk in a normal voice, we would actually hear you better.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Mr. Trout.
It's going to be a hard act to follow, boys. I have a copy for the board.
And while you can stay 10 inches from the mic, you can pull it down to you so you don't feel the need to yell at it. So,
yeah. I've been messing with these for a long time. I'm Arlen Trout from Gold Canyon. Pinal County versus Brad Miller fits the same pattern of abuse I have reported with Trout versus Russell since March of 2021. This dispute is about ethics, records, abuse of authority, and misuse of public money. Our elected officials are now suing each other, and you've again lawyered up and doubled down with public money and resources. For 5 years, taxpayers have funded and defended criminal conduct and damage done to me, my family, and our property on Kings Ranch Ridge and Gold Canyon. Both the board and Brad Miller hired outside attorneys for yourselves and land developers to fight us, and Judge McCarville returned your dirty underwear in civil court. However, Trout versus Russell also exposes how the county juggles criminal enforcement into civil courts to avoid and shift the responsibility and accountability that come with criminal investigations and prosecution. This practice forces the burden and standard of proof and damages onto the victims and public. In March of 2021, ex-Sheriff Mark Lamb refused to intervene and enforce protective orders against a land developer named Kenneth Dean Russell, threatened that he had influence with the sheriff. This turned out to be true, but everything else he said was proven to be a lie. Sheriff Lamb forced my family into civil court because he refused to enforce the law and stop Russell. Pinal County was finally held in contempt and sanctioned for aiding and abetting Russell in willful and malicious violations of multiple court orders in January of 25. Then the court was forced to issue a contempt enforcement order on April 1st, 25, that is still being violated. This litigation has cost taxpayers millions of dollars and financially crippled my family. I'm asking Chairman McClure and Brad Miller to respond to this question. If the court rulings don't matter to any of you, why bother to sue each other? And I'd appreciate an answer to that question. Why are you bothering to sue if court orders mean nothing to you? And you know what I'm talking about, and you're going to look at each other and say nothing.
Thank you. Ms. Noble, now you're up.
Good afternoon. I'm Lenora Noble, a retired teacher and principal of 35 years and a 7-year resident at Robeson Ranch in Eloy. I have volunteered at both the Toltec and Eloy school districts over the last 4 years and throughout my community there. I will be sharing comments about the Freepoint Recycling Plastic Chemical Plant that you are considering for Eloy. I gathered these comments from individuals as they were learning about the project over these last few days and couple weeks. There would be more here. They've sent me to make these comments because they're at the Arizona Corporation Commission regarding water and sewer rates for Robeson. What remains are these questions and comments from those not here today. They are heavy usage by trucks and trailers on the main roadways leading to the construction site, accumulating noise from the plant once operations start on a 24/7 schedule, the air pollution from escaping particulate debris and smokestack residue being released, along with the impact it will have on open water canals, playgrounds, and our youth, and the value of their land due to our affected air quality. As one of its many residents of the area, we all desire a balance between sacrificing the health of community and the cost of industrial activity nearby. The worry is about measuring and maintaining control over the waste and particulate matter produced from this plant. Setting a high bar when it comes to meeting the standards of clean air operations is essential. While Freepoint, the Pinal Board, and the state have mutually agreed on the acreage in the Eloy Industrial Park, its location remains a concern by nearby residences. Please investigate Freepoint as a business, their previous pitfalls in plant management and production, and do a deep dive on issues to find out about their safety and air quality guidelines known at their earlier locations. Don't be persuaded by the razzle-dazzle of a polished company folder from Freepoint. Even with a well-organized presentation, there are stories of noncompliance, delayed corrective actions with the EPA, and ongoing complaints from their communities. Before that final permitting and approval is given, ask yourself, is this the right business placed in the right location? Why don't we know about this business being selected as the proposed large-scale operation? And where did public relations at the board and city level miss the mark for staying in touch with its neighborhoods? Please consider to extend this commenting period by another month. Getting the word out didn't happen until recently through the news and individual testimony experiences. What happened to transparent government leadership? Wherever your moral compass lies,
Wrap up real quickly, please.
in making those tough decisions today, please let it be to spread the input coming in for the Freepoint project with the company to answer neighborhood questions first. I have listened to some of your meetings, and I know that your focus is to build for every town, city in this county to become places that thrive, good jobs, wonderful people who serve their communities, organizations that mentor one another, and preservation of a great quality of life that invites families to stay long-term. Thank you for your focus and time today.
Thank you. Mr. Ellison.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, Supervisors. George Ellison, Gold Canyon. The U.S. President acted without congressional approval to authorize military actions, including airstrikes, drone strikes, and special ops in at least 7 countries. You may think I'm talking about President Trump. No, that was Democrat President Barack Obama. According to a 2017 report from the left-wing journal The Guardian, the 7 countries bombed by President Obama without congressional approval were Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Pakistan, Somalia, Syria, Yemen. I saw a video yesterday of former Democrat Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, years ago, telling the media that the President Obama could bomb Libya without congressional authorization. President Trump wisely and boldly authorized legal military strikes on Iran to take out the worst state sponsor of terrorism in the history of the world. President Trump has changed world history for the better with the American strikes on Iran. For decades, Iran armed, trained, and directed Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, and Shia militias that killed and maimed thousands of Americans with IEDs in Iraq and Afghanistan. 90 million Iranians have lived under its boot. This is about dismantling the world's most dangerous terror regime and giving Iranians and millions of Israelis, Arabs, and Americans a fighting chance at stability and freedom. Iranians and most Americans celebrated President Trump's bold action, except the hypocritical, America-hating left. I read left-wing blogs to see what they're up to. The leftist women are extremely angry about some videos from newly liberated Iranian women who are dancing in short skirts and shorts because they're free. The leftist women are calling the beautiful Iranian women prostitutes. The Iranian women are responding back. We're done with burqas. You wear the burqas. We'll wear bikinis. You remember Superman comics? The left lives in a bizarro world, a backwards version of Earth. The bizarro world operates on the bizarro code where, quote, us do opposite of all earthly things, end quote. That's a perfect description of the modern American left. The bizarro left supports terrorists, both domestic and foreign, illegal aliens over citizens, fake women over real women, looting and rioting, and hates law enforcement. Many on the left would truly rather see the people of Iran continue to suffer under a murderous dictatorship than applaud President Trump's world-saving actions. Iranians love America more than the Democrats do. The bizarro left, where have all the leftists gone? Gone to Trump derangement syndrome, everyone. The American left is singing the blues while the Iranians are singing, it's fun to stay at the YMCA. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there others that wish to address the board? Oh, Mr. Reck, you already, did you? Oh, you didn't. No, you did, didn't you? I'm sorry.
On the item.
I'm sorry, just on the item.
No problem.
You know.
No problem. First, thank you, Chairman McClure, for your thoughtful vote on item P. There isn't time to single out all the agenda items for which the county is to be commended, but I would like to mention your acceptance of the Arizona at Work Workforce Grant and your recognition of the AmeriCorps National Civilian Community Corps. I'm glad to see this program is still alive after being previously threatened by DOGE cuts, allowing these energetic young citizens to serve their communities. Next, again, I offer support for your litigation against County Attorney Miller regarding misuse of public monies and resources and failure to retain public records, the hazardous and inappropriate 287G agreement, and employment practices, matters, and grievances. I believe he knows he will lose these cases and at great expense to the county in an effort to enhance his profile, perhaps to seek higher office. Along with all that, speaking volumes, there is the more than questionable hiring of Richard Mueller and Jeremiah Brasowski, his coordination with extremist legislator John Gillette, and his absence over the last few Board of Supervisors meetings, leading me to one suggestion: County Attorney Miller, please resign. Now I ask for your support. You have heard from many speakers regarding the Free Point Ecosystem Facility. As a citizen of Eloy and Pinal County, I urge you to weigh in behalf of your constituents regarding the permit process. There is great concern over the environmental and safety issues this facility presents that has not been given the time and investigation it deserves. Next, I ask you to oppose House Bill 2010 regarding prayer at school board meetings, House Bill 2266 regarding release time religious instruction, and Senate Bill 1025 regarding curriculum and religious beliefs such as creationism or intelligent design. All three are in direct contradiction of the Trump administration's Department of Education, what's left of it, their updated guidance on constitutionally protected prayer and religious expression in public, elementary, and secondary schools. Lastly, I ask you to stay vigilant as to the ramifications the war in Iran might have for Pinal County in blood and treasure. It is estimated that the war, initiated by a president who campaigned on no new wars and claimed an election of Kamala Harris would result in war with Iran, will cost $200 billion just for starters, with an unknown number of lost military and civilian lives. That $200 billion plus has to come from somewhere, adding to the debt and potentially eliminating valuable programs that benefit Pinal County, Arizona, and the nation at large. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there others that wish to address the board? I see Mr. Revelis with a thought bubble over his head. I'm assuming you're coming up. That's right there.
These 93-year-old legs are getting a little bit tired coming to the podium, but I will be coming back.
I'm sure. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, prior to my prepared remarks, I want to thank you and the rest of the board for your transparency in sharing with the public what you've been discussing in executive session. And I strongly agree with you, Mr. Chairman, that it's a mess that needs to be cleaned up. And by sharing what you've been discussing, I think you'll find the general public supporting you to help clean up this mess. So I appreciate the transparency. But, Mr. Chairman, now my prepared remarks that America is at war. I lived through the Second World War and every other armed conflict that our nation has experienced. And I'm hopeful that we can overcome the mixed messages that we're getting from Washington, where it was first suggested that the mission was to dictate a regime change to replace the fanatical, despicable dictatorship that's in place now. While another message has declared that preemptive attack was to prevent an immediate threat from a nation whose nuclear capability, we were told, had recently been obliterated. And yet, another reason cited was that America had been forced to act because our ally, Israel, was planning its own preemptive strike against our common adversary. Whatever the confusing reason, one thing does stand out. Our national leadership recklessly proceeded without the Constitution's declaration of war authority that resides in the Congress. Today, the Senate is considering the wars powers resolutions that are being presented by different members of the Senate. I urge my fellow Arizonans to contact both our senators and our representatives by a simple call to the Capitol switchboard. And that's a simple number. I urge you to call today to help us remove the despot that's in place. That telephone number is 202-224-3121. And over the years that I worked there, I encourage constituents to call the switchboard. The switchboard will transfer you to your senators and your member of Congress. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any others that wish to address the board at this time? Hearing and seeing none, we will close the call to the public. Thank you. Are you guys doing okay for a few more minutes?
Yeah, I got 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay, just checking. Don't want you to faint on me or anything. Okay, item 18 is public hearing consent items A and B. I can open a collective hearing here. These are public hearings for items A and B. Is there anyone here to speak to the item? No. Okay, so at this time, I will open the public hearing for items A and B because that's what I'm supposed to do over here. And so is there anyone that wishes to speak to items A or B on item 18? Hearing and seeing none, we will close public hearing, and I will ask for something. I'll ask for a motion. How about that?
I'll give it. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number A.
And B. There's two.
Do we need to do both of them? Can we do both at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. Both A and B, A with two stipulations, and B with two stipulations.
Look at you. Wow. I have a motion A and B. Okay. I have a motion for A and B. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Here we go. All right. Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. We have item 19 at this time. This is a public hearing and discussion, approval, disapproval of ordinance number 2026-PZ-023-25, an ordinance approving case PZ-023-25, and I'm looking for someone from community development. Mr. Kraus, you'll do. You have to be, you're the lucky, when you do the short straw, you get to come talk about this.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this item is not ready for approval. We'd ask that you continue it till the March 18th regular board meeting.
Very well, thank you. Do I need to open a public hearing? Okey-doke. Thank you, Mr. Kraus. As this is a public hearing, I will open a public hearing on item 19. Anyone from the public wish to speak? It's not much public here. It's pretty skinny. I'm going to say that there's no public here to talk about it, so I'm going to close the public hearing. And I'm going to, the recommendation is to continue to March 18 board meeting with a public hearing. So we will continue the public hearing to that time as well. Do I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to continue item number 19 and keep open the call to the public. I meant
Public hearing.
Public hearing, sorry.
Second.
No, that's not what he said. Shush.
We need a date certain.
Oh, sorry, to March 8, okay. I'd like to make a motion to continue item 19 till March 18th and leave open the public comments.
Public
Public hearing.
That's the word. Okay. I have that motion. Is there a second?
I do now.
Now you do?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
That was an aye for the yes. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. All right, we are continued on that item. Item 20 is a discussion of board members' request for future agenda items. Are there any items that anyone wishes to add to a future agenda?
Go ahead.
I do, yes.
too.
And the reason we've brought this back is because a lot of people don't understand that we're not allowed to talk to each other. Of the 5 of us, because of open meeting law, we can only talk to one other supervisor about any one subject. If we talk to a third, that's a majority, and why even have a meeting, because we decide everything behind broke. So I do this just to let the other supervisors know. So we haven't talked about one for a while, but on data centers, we're just bombarded with them, and we never quite get the truth about them because we're always hearing from the people that are paid to promote them. So I would like to have during a work session, possibly a symposium or seminar on just exactly what do they do, why do we need so many, why can't we just, why can't a few take care of it all, how much water do they use, how much electricity do they use, et cetera. The one that I chose to talk to this about was Supervisor Vitiello, and what are your thoughts on how we could possibly approach this?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I mean, being transparent to the public and letting them know that we actually are looking to sit, listen, and learn both sides of the coin, and a non-biased opinion opposed to listening to the data center or the people against it. So I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I've asked questions and still never got an answer, so I would like some definitive answers on these in the future.
Okay, thank you. Any other items that anyone wishes to?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. I would like to see that these last couple of weeks, I've been meeting with some of our constituents in my area in regards to code ordinances. And we started a process a couple of years ago, and it kind of got sidetracked on us, or derailed, I should say. But I think it's something that we need to deal with and look at, because our codes are so outdated, especially in the rural communities, that it's being weaponized neighbor against neighbor. And I, for one, am quite tired of it, and I'd like to move forward on addressing some of these issues.
Okay, so an update on the code issues, we're doing that. And the data centers, we can work on that as well. Any other items? Hearing, seeing none. All right, that leaves us with the favorite one, adjournment. We are adjourned.